What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here, back with another video. And in this one, we are finally finishing up the draft prospect scouting reports for the New England Patriots complete 2023 draft class. Guys, way more picks than I was expecting. Historically, this team goes like 8 to 10 picks, 11 maybe. We've maxed that out. And I was not expecting them to do that this year. I was expecting them to go 8 to 10 picks and then UDFA the rest of them. And they did not do that. And we have a lot of good picks here, guys. This is another pick that I'm so excited to talk about. This is probably my second favorite pick that the Patriots made. Second or third. This and the Keyshawn Boutte pick, very, very close together. And I have a hot take. I'm going to get into it in today's video. But you guys know that we start each and every single video one way, and that's by rolling that Patriots Global intro. So let's do that, baby. Now, guys, before we hop into today's video, I am absolutely ecstatic. And ecstatic is an understatement to say that FanDuel is the official sponsor of Patriots Global. Guys, the Bruins might have disappointed us, but the Celtics are still here to give us hope, because right now, guys, right now with FanDuel Sportsbook, you can get, new customers can get a no sweat first bet up to $1,000. Yes, guys, make a first break to FanDuel for the NBA playoffs right now. That is $1,000 back in bonus bets for your first bet if that bet does not win. There's no better place to get in the playoff action than America's #1 sports book. Guys, all you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Again, FanDuel.com/ the best city in sports, Boston, and get a no sweat first bet up to $1,000. One more time, guys, that is FanDuel.com/Boston. Essentially, what a no sweat first bet is if you do not hit, you end up getting that money back for your first bet if it does not hit, up to $1,000. Guys, this is super safe. And that's one of the big things I want to say. I like betting at times, right? Betting is fun, especially when it comes to football during the regular season. Make some extra fun cash, maybe bet with your friends a little bit, but also during the offseason where I need a little bit of extra cash. Betting on teams like the Celtics or the Bruins, it's always so much fun to do, but I'm always big on being very safe with the way I bet, right? There's a lot of scammers out there, and the #1 place to bet to be safe is actually FanDuel, which is, again, America's #1 sports book. Whether you are using their website or you are using their app, everything is super safe, super secure, and you get paid for your bets if you win as soon as your bets hit. Guys, the best thing that I love about FanDuel, though, is their promos, right? They have new promos every single day for you guys to make quick and easy money. Guys, make sure, again, you go check out FanDuel. Get in on their no sweat first bet up to $1,000 with, again, FanDuel.com/Boston. But, guys, as I pull myself back up here, with the 100 or 210th pick in the 6th round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots selected another wide receiver, Demario Douglas, wide receiver, Liberty. And let me tell you, they almost went back-to-back receiver here. And if you told me that they were going to do that, I would have told you were crazy. New England does not go receiver from rounds 1 to 5. Everybody's freaking out. Where's the receiver? What's going on? To me, I said, if they go JSN in the first, okay, but I don't love receivers outside of that. And I also said, it would not surprise me if the Patriots didn't go receiver till UDFAs or the late rounds. Just because if you go a receiver early on, rounds 1 to 4, I think you have to find a way for that guy to get playing time year one. And I think we have so many guys, because let's remember Mike Gesicki is an extension to the wide receiver room, that there's not exactly room for that guy to get snaps right away and snaps essentially given to him year one. Drafting a guy in the 6th or 7th between Keyshawn Boutte and Demario Douglas gives you that opportunity where if things don't work out, you can say, well, you know what? You were a 6th or 7th round pick where essentially you are just hitting on home runs, essentially trying to get diamonds in the rough. And these are the perfect spot for the Patriots to do that. And I think between Keyshawn Butte and Demario Douglas, the New England Patriots have gotten some absolute potential at the wide receiver group. And these are guys that I think very well could succeed in New England. Between Keyshawn Butte and Demario Douglas, guys, one of those has to hit for the Patriots. And I told you guys before this video started, or right at the beginning when this video started, that I have a little bit of a hot take. That hot take is one that I think some Patriots fans might be like, oh, Global, what are you talking about, dude? You don't know what you're doing. I actually think that Demario Douglas could have a better shot at having a genuine impact and make the roster than Keyshawn Butte. And I like Keyshawn Butte 100%. I did my draft profile breakdown on him. He brings something a little similar to Douglas, but still something different. And I'm not going to talk about Keyshawn Butte in this video because I already, again, talked about him in another video. But I think Demario Douglas fits that mold for a New England Patriots receiver so much more than Keyshawn Butte does. I think there is a lot less concern. There's a lot less of an uphill battle for somebody like Demario Douglas. Not to mention, this guy is a Shrine Bowl. The Patriots already worked with Demario Douglas at the Shrine Bowl. And dare I say, Demario Douglas to me, and I have to find the statistics here, but I'll probably bring them up in my my live stream coming up, where I do a complete breakdown of the New England Patriots 1st to 7th round pick. Just a complete breakdown of this draft class. There's going to be a live stream probably tomorrow night, which I'll let you guys know about. But he's comparable to me to a Zay Flowers. And he's not Zay Flowers. He doesn't have the upside of Zay Flowers. But if you're looking for a player that is so similar to Zay Flowers, where the Patriots clearly didn't get Flowers, but you want a similar, so close to the potential of Zay Flowers, Demario Douglas is that guy in terms of testing and what they bring in terms of speed and whatnot. Very, very similar to each other. Now, I want to break this down a little bit here in terms of Demario Douglas. Now, Douglas is going to bring speed for the Patriots. In fact, let me see if I could pull up that 40 time here. He ran a 4.44 40-yard dash. He ran a 4.29 20-yard shuttle. This guy is fast. This guy brings speed, but he doesn't just bring speed. He's not going to be a guy that just plays on the outside, is going to put on those burners and essentially test guys down deep with go routes. That's not what he is. He's a guy that brings speed to be able to work in the short to intermediate route, but give you some downfield potential. But he's also a guy that's very quick in and out of his breaks. This is your slot receiver, right? We talked about this before, like for the last couple years, about the Patriots getting that next slot receiver, and Demario Douglas could be that guy, that short slot receiver that brings quickness, that brings speed. That's what Demario Douglas is. And like always, I like kind of hitting on what PFF kind of thought about these picks for the Patriots. It's just a fun thing to do. If it lets me, there we go. So they actually thought that Demario Douglas was an average pick for the Patriots, and I do not think so whatsoever. Like I said, this was a Shrine Bowl guy. This is someone they met with at the Shrine Bowl, someone they got to work with at the Shrine Bowl. Zay Flowers didn't work a whole lot at the Shrine Bowl, but when he did, he was used in a specific role for the Patriots. When Flowers wasn't working in the Shrine Bowl, they had Demario Douglas in the same role that Zay Flowers was in. So them not going Zay Flowers shows me that they like the potential of Flowers, but saw the guy that they could get with that same potential late on in the draft. So I think this is an above average pickup for the Patriots. They didn't they didn't miss on where they got Demario Douglas either. He was about a 6th round projection. This is exactly where the Patriots are getting him also. PFF thinks that Douglas is a small receiver, but he has some impressive numbers at Liberty in 2022. He produced an 81.7 PFF grade against man coverage and an average 2.57 yards per route run. He dropped just 4 of 80 catchable passes thrown his way this past season. Guys, again, what is Demario Douglas screaming to you? Demario Douglas is screaming that next slot receiver for the New England Patriots. So much potential here. This guy also has return ability as a kick returner, as a punt returner. Where have we heard this before? Not saying he's Julian Edelman, not saying he's Wes Welker, Not saying that he's Jacoby Myers, although I think Jacoby Myers was more of an inside-outside type of guy. But I think Demario Douglas could be the next good slot receiver for the Patriots. A guy with very sure hands. He really doesn't drop a whole lot of passes, but he does have some questions as a return guy, which I will get into. But in terms of numbers here for Demario Douglas, receiving grade of 85 this past season, yards per route run, 257. He's actually pretty good in terms of contested catch, just above average. And when I say just, I mean just above average in terms of contested catch rate with the 46.7. But a guy who is 5'8", 179 pounds, you wouldn't think he's as good with contested catches. In terms of him with contested catches downfield, he's not as good. Short to intermediate route, he's going to impress you with that size with contested catches. But as you get more and more down the field, it's kind of more of a 50-50 ball for Demario Douglas in that rate, which again, that size does make a lot of sense. Grade versus man coverage, like I said, 81.7. That is a very good grade for a 5'8" slot receiver against man coverage, especially for the Patriots, who have had a lot of issues with their wide receivers going up against press man coverage. They need guys who can get open against press man coverage and not just guys who can get open when playing a zone defense. Demario Douglas, a guy who brings exactly that. And again, playing in the slot. This just screams to me the next Patriot slot receiver, as long as Demario Douglas can put everything together. Now, like I said, he also does bring some ability in terms of being a route runner. Actually, not a route runner, but in terms of being a special teams return man, whether that's a punt returner or a kick returner. He's going to get the potential there. He actually models his game after Marcus Jones, Patriots return man. I just don't think much is going to come out of this. I think if anything, he's a punt returner. Patriots already have that in Marcus Jones. You could say they need a kick returner. I don't think he's going to be that, but you know that they're going to try him there this offseason. Between how shifty he is, his ability after the catch, I think he'd make a good return man. But there's one statistic that worries me, and that's the fact that he has issues with the ball in his hand in terms of drops. He has 6 career muffs punt as a returner, according to PFF. That is a real concern. So ultimately, I don't think that they put him as a return man. I think it's more of a liability, but you'll see him there this offseason in training camp. You'll see him there probably with some potential and opportunities come preseason. But in terms of what is he going to provide come the regular season, I don't think that's his role. But I love the potential that he does bring in terms of a slot receiver and an actual receiver for the Patriots. A couple more kind of upside things that I do like about him. His comeback routes are very good. What else I have written down? He has above average after the catch ability too, something that the Patriots really like in their slot receivers. Like I said, you just put everything together, guys, between his ability after the catch, a reliable receiver, a small slot receiver who's only essentially going to be a slot receiver for you with special teams upside. What does this scream to you? This screams just iconic slot receivers we've seen from New England in the past. And I'm really, really excited about this one with Demario Douglas. What are your guys' thoughts on this draft selection by the Patriots, though? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. I appreciate you guys for watching. And like always,